Hello and welcome to a very special video. As you probably know, the PS4 was announced in the early hours of the morning, or evening, depending on where you were, and I'm here to give you a shorter version of the PlayStation conference, just giving you the key bits of information that was shown during. As you probably know, the PS4 was announced during said livestream, and whilst we didn't get any pictures of the actual PS3, we were shown many games that will be launch titles, and we were also shown the remote. So I'm going to tell you a few things about the actual console itself at the start part. The console is better than its PS3 counterpart, but it doesn't necessarily compete with PC. The specs are as followed. It has an x86 CPU, an enhanced PC GPU. Now, it didn't say which GPU it was exactly, but I'm assuming it was a 660, which is an NVIDIA card. It's a pretty cool card, but that's like the equivalent in price and power. I don't think it's that exact one. They didn't make any kind of thing. It's probably Asus or probably Radeon. That seems to be the one that the consoles are going to go with the most. It has 8GB RAM, which is actually quite nice. I mean, most high-end PCs have 8GB, and that's more than you'll need, so that's quite nice. It has a local storage hard drive, which is to be expected. The DualShock pad itself, which is the remote that you can be using, has a headphone jack, and it also has a touchpad. Much like the NVIDIA Shield, although this touchpad is actually on it, and it's not like a little flip switch thing. It's got a light bar, and it's got a stereo camera, and there's a sensor bar. The sensor bar is separate to the DualShock, but it comes with the PS4. It's supposed to be their answer to the Kinect, which was in turn Xbox's answer to iToy. It's all weird. And apparently the PS4 has a powerful APU 8-core, and it has DDR5 memory, which is pretty cool. Now, if you were to build an equal PC, both with cost and power, it would probably cost you $600 or 430 quid. So keep that in mind.
The game announcements seem to be at the forefront of the event, with Infamous and Killzone all having new titles. It was looking pretty promising in terms of games. One game that looked particularly good was a game by the designer of Jak and Daxter and Crash Bandicoot. This game was called Knack, and it had a cartoony feel. It was about goblins taking over the world, and people built a robot who turned into little Lego pieces and blew up, and he saved the world. Some kind of suicide bombing robot. It looked okay. Blizzard also announced that Diablo 3 would be coming to PS4, which isn't really that good of news. I thought they'd be bringing an actual new IP to it, but hey-ho. Diablo 3 didn't do very well on PC, so that makes me think that they'd bring it to PS4 to try and get more money. It had a really good launch, one of the best, but it gradually lost players. So that loss of players made them crawl to Sony, I suppose. And Blizzard, as well as Bungie also had a new game called Destiny. They are working with Activision. This is supposed to be like a sci-fi game, but Activision and Bungie don't seem like the best mix of designers. Activision made things like COD, and well, COD really, that's all you need to know it's going to be pretty shit. Sci-fi COD. But yeah. Killzone Shadowfall was also announced. This is a new Killzone game, obviously. I'm not sure if it's Killzone 4 or if it's a kind of spin-off prequel type deal, but it did look pretty cool. The graphics were very nice. That was one of the only things that was like a tech demo and could have been used to see how good the PS4 could be. The story is that the enemy team, the Vortigaunt or whatever they're called, they are on this kind of Berlin Wall, and that's how the main characters, the good guys and the bad guys, are separated by this Berlin Wall type deal. It looked okay. It looked a bit cliche, but it was only the first trailer, so you can't really judge it on that. Infamous Second Son was also announced, another Infamous game. Again, not sure if this is a prequel, sequel, or a prequel, whatever the hell prequel is. You play as multiple people with multiple powers, and you're trying to fight the system, something weird like that. Watch Dogs was shown on PS4. This is not an exclusive of PS4, this is on every bloody console, every platform known to man. But it looks pretty cool. It's about espionage and like kind of hacking cameras and stuff. I'll assume you know about it because it's been announced before. Heavy Rain's new engine, or a new engine by the creator of Heavy Rain, looked quite nice. Apparently it had 30,000 or 3,000 polygons, something like that. And you need 30,000 to show motion. 29,000 can't be that good, so it's borderline okay. There's a new game coming out called Star Citizen that has many more, and it's only on PC, so judge it on that. Media Molecule showed this new sculpting game. It's not Little Big Planet, it's nothing like that, it's not even got the same name. You use Move, that old shitty hardware that was on PS3. It's been transferred to PS4, and you just go like that with your Move and go to here and draw dicks and shit like that. It looks gimmicky, but I suppose it has potential. They say you can build levels with it, so you draw a character like circle, line, and then go from there. Nice stuff. Capcom showed their new engine. This is called, I hope I'm saying this right, Panterai. It looked okay. The emotions on the characters look rather cartoony, but their new game, Deep Down, looked quite nice. It's like a medieval type deal with dragons and stuff and demons. It looked nice. It looked okay. The PS4 itself claims many things, hardware and software-wise as well. According to Sony, the PS4 will have no lag, which means that you can play games seamlessly, online and all that stuff. It also claims that there'll be no download times. Now this seems far-fetched at best, so you'll go on the store, you'll download, I don't know, Harry Potter Simulator 2099, click OK and it'll be on your system straight away. But they also said you can play a game whilst it's downloading, assuming you don't beat the download in terms of getting farther in the level. So let's say your game was at 20% downloaded. You could then play it while it's downloading at 20%, but only play the first level, or something like that, do you know what I mean? So that's a quite nice addition, playing games while they download, but you'd have to have reasonably fast internet to get up to a certain speed that you'd be able to play a chunk of the game that is playable, unless you had to like pause it and wait for a while. It also has dedicated video compression and decompression, meaning upload and download speeds will be much better. It has its own separate card for this. But all these changes, especially using your real name and picture, make PS4 seem like a social network, albeit a gaming-based one, with smartphone connectivity and PS Vita connectivity. It all seems like a giant gimmick. They also claim for immediate downloads, and the fact that the PS4 downloads game before you even choose to download them. It'll tell what you're going to buy before you buy it, which could be quite weird. Now there was a lot of speculation surrounding the PS4, and they say used games will be available and will be usable. Plus, every game will have a demo. One good feature the PS4 has is you can resume right where you were. So if you were to turn off the PS4 at a certain point during a hard level, you would turn it on and resume straight where you were at the exact point. It also uses cloud gaming for certain parts, so if you want to have all your saves on a cloud in case your hardware fails, or if you want to save your games on a cloud, that can work. You can also download games and play them without having to download them, so you can play them throughout the internet, like Oran Live, which was an online service where you played games without downloading them. It has main partnerships with cloud gaming services, which is why it has this kind of feature, but it also makes it seem like a Wii U rerun, in the way that it uses the old hardware and brings it along for the new PS4. Plus, the fact that you can't play PS3 games on it, or use your PlayStation Network games if you accumulate it over time, make it seem like a new piece of hardware. But this also means that you'll lose every game. This might make people keep their PS3 for a longer amount of time, and maybe be wary about getting the new PS4. Personally, I think it's a shitty PC, but without the upgradability. These new features seem okay, and the new games seem alright, but they all seem like a giant gimmick, and none of them are making good use of the tech that they're using. In a few years, the PCs will outrun this by 1,000,000 times, and without this being able to be upgraded, it's going to be outwitted and outmatched by PCs everywhere. So, what do you think? Do you like it? Will you buy it? Tell me in the comments below.